what we are actually doing all this for, what we are actually working for. Most of us, we cannot afford to just let go of our jobs and pursue our dreams and wishes. What kind of daughter would I be? What kind of disgrace would I be? I have put myself into that cage that I thought I had to be in. I thought I had to suffer just like my parents did. Like I was just giving up and just settling for the easy things in life. So what is important to you? What does fulfill you? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jini. Now that I've finished all my exams, I just noticed that I have a lot more mental capacity to talk about all the topics I wanted to talk about. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get started. So for those who don't know, I am actually an industrial engineer. I'm currently doing my master's degree. Quite early in my studies, I've noticed that my studies are a lot about making processes run more efficiently, and every movement has to be optimized and waste has to be minimized. These are actually not just expectations we have for machines, but also for people. We are expected to be very productive. Society in general definitely has its expectations, and I also think the personal or close environment we live in or brought up in, there are also kind of expectations we all know of, and it may be different from culture to culture or from social circle to social circle, but there are definitely always some sort of expectations. And of course, another big factor is social media. I think social media has such a big influence on so many things nowadays, especially for the younger generations. I'm not sure if I still count as younger generation. For example, my siblings, they are way younger than me, and I do feel like social media plays such a big role, but that's a topic that I don't want to touch upon in this video just yet. And with all this going on, I think it's so easy to just lose track of what we're actually doing all this for, what we are actually working for. Most of us, we cannot afford to just let go of our jobs and pursue our dreams and wishes. Instead, most of us, we are caught in kind of a cage that we've been put in, or maybe we have even put ourselves in. If I'm being honest, I've felt trapped for a very, very long time in my life. I've always had this ongoing thought of my parents, they sacrificed everything they had to enable a better life for me. And what kind of daughter would I be? What kind of disgrace would I be if I weren't to strive for bigger things? If I don't strive to be the best in every part of my life, can I still call myself a good daughter? But the reality really is that I have put myself into that cage that I thought I had to be in, because I thought I had to suffer just like my parents did, because I had a certain debt to repay. One day I had to wake up and realize that it's no good for anyone if I try to live for my parents and break down in this process, because what will be left then? In my opinion, no one is ever born to live for another person. And just to give you a small spoiler, I do think for me, my personal solution was finding a healthy balance for myself, but it's such a complex topic, really. Slowly, I really noticed I started to think differently about university, career, achievements, and just in general, the whole way I want to live my life. I also often felt very guilty because I thought I was just too weak to reach my goals, or I was probably not disciplined enough to reach these goals that I had to reach. I really felt like I was just giving up and just settling for the easy things in life. Don't get me wrong, I still think career, university, and all these things, they are still important to me. But I've just found for myself that above all these things, I really just want to live a happy, healthy, peaceful, and balanced life. Because otherwise, everything else just doesn't make any sense to me. That does not mean that striving for more in life or for higher things in life is a bad thing, not at all. I just found out that it's not for me. It's okay to slow down, and it's okay to just be satisfied with a simple life. It's okay to have different plans and ambitions than what society expects of you. And yes, people might judge you for this change in your thinking, but there may also be people that have thought like this for a very long time but were too afraid to voice these kinds of thoughts because they were afraid what kind of consequences would come with this kind of thinking. Yeah, I mean, we're all just trying to figure things out. So what is important to you? What does fulfill you? I think for most of us, the solution is neither of the extremes, because we need to work in order to survive. We all want to be more or less independent and to have a purpose in life as well. But if we forget what fulfills us, what are we actually working for? What are we actually being productive for? Hi guys, I was just editing my video and there was like something very important that I forgot to mention, which is I think nowadays a lot of people, they identify with their performance or like their achievements, and your achievements and your performance kind of define your value. And I think that's a very dangerous thing to do, actually. But I also get it because I'm also part of that society, you know. But I think it's very important to understand that your worth is not defined by your achievements, your performance, your productivity, how perfect you are. It is not. It simply isn't. I know it can be unbelievable for some people because they think, if I don't have my achievements, if I don't have my performance, who am I even? And I totally get that. But there really is just so much more in life than achieving things. You as a person, as you come, that is enough. You don't need to be a crazy high earning person. You don't need to be the best in your job. You don't need to be excellent in anything to be worth anything. Especially in our world nowadays, I really feel like everything is faster, everything is better, more efficient, and it's so easy to feel like you're falling behind and you need to catch up to be worth something. But in my personal opinion, it's like a rat race, you know? That's just what I wanted to say, concluding this. For me personally, I can say now that I was probably striving for the right things, but with the wrong intentions and the wrong means. And I noticed that it's definitely not easy, because even if you're striving for the right things, if your intentions are coming from a source of insecurity, it may backfire someday. So you may have noticed that I don't have like a definite answer as to how we can all find the balance between like all of these things in life. But what helped me a lot is to just reflect on my motives and to reflect about what I am actually living for. It really goes deep, but I think maybe that's a question we should all ask ourselves from time to time. Am I just the sum of all my achievements, something that you can show off or be proud of? Or is there more to that? Once I figured that out for myself, I have found that finding the balance seemed to be less far than before. I'm definitely still not there, but after this step, it made it a lot more easier for me to feel more hopeful about life, just to live a happier life. Yeah, because life is not very long, you know, and the little time that we have, I would wish for everyone we can all enjoy to the best of our own abilities, of course. Yeah, and I was rambling a lot again, but I would really like to know your point of view on this kind of topic. These are not videos like on how you should do things to be a better person, not at all, because who am I to like tell you that? It's more so just like a thought process I wanted to share, and I'm very interested in knowing what you think about this kind of topic, what kind of conclusion you have. Yeah, if I'm being honest, I sometimes feel a little bit embarrassed to talk about these kind of topics, but I've really found that I'm just really passionate about talking these kind of topics. I would like to have that on my channel. Vlogs are very fun as well, but I found it a little bit hard to squeeze my thought processes into a few minutes of my vlog, because I don't want to annoy anyone who just wants to have like a vlog, you know. I will finish here now. It's a little bit shorter, this video, but I still hope that you enjoyed it. I thank you so much for watching, as always. I wish you a beautiful week and take care, and yeah, I hope to see you next week. Bye!